Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we have to ask the question, is it high noon for Humza? There are a lot of SNP MPs. They are very unhappy. They are having a crisis meeting and they want him gone. How much longer can Humza Yousaf hold on to power when his whole base in Westminster is crying out for him to go because they know they're all going to lose their seats while this guy remains in power? And of course it isn't just the MPs at Westminster. There are many MSPs in Holyrood who feel the same. They feel his absolute conviction on holding the Greens in office is toxic and damaging. There are many senior members of the SNP who think Humza Yousaf's time is up and it is time he goes. Everything he touches falls apart. He's making bad decision after bad decision, and they know that they're all going to pay the price. I joked earlier that there may be a coup d'etat. It seems the coup d'etat is now. Let's have a look. SNP MPs deeply unhappy with Humza Yousaf as a crisis showdown looms. It is high noon for Humza. People want him gone, and it could happen very, very quickly. It comes after veteran Nationalist MP Pete Wishart launched a savage criticism of his party as he admitted a caretaker leader should have been brought in after Nicola Sturgeon quit. And well, they got a guy that is going to be a caretaker. That's all he's really qualified for. Give him a mop and bucket and he might just make a success of it. He's made a failure of everything else. Nationalist MPs are said to be deeply unhappy with Humza Yousaf. It's not just Nationalist MPs, I may be adding. It's virtually everyone in Scotland. Half his own party. Anyway, he faces a crisis showdown over the direction of his party, and it comes after veteran SNP Pete Wishart admitted there were concerns among the party how a nightmare 12 months has been dealt with by the leadership, particularly as the leader at the moment is an absolute moron. The Shadow Secretary of State for Scotland, Ian Murray MP, reckons there is even more upset behind the scenes at the Westminster group. The Nats are losing ground in the polls to Labour ahead of a general election likely to be held next year. Almost certainly October, but it may be May. More than 20 SNP MPs face losing their seats, with several others stepping down when the UK votes. And that seems to have prompted moves within the group led by Beryl. Labour MP Mr Murray said on social media, an SNP MP tells me there's a crisis showdown meeting tomorrow with the SNP MPs who are deeply unhappy with their MSP colleagues and Humza Yousaf in particular. It comes after the former SNP MP Angus McNeill hinted at imminent change in leadership at the top of the SNP. Things are changing. The game's afoot. Now, what we've got to look at here is you've got Humza Yousaf is a man who was unwanted by the majority of the party in the first count. He then became leader by some shady shenanigans. Only just, though. Instead of uniting the two groups by, bringing in Kate Forbes and putting her in a senior position, holding out the olive branch, he didn't. He threw everyone from her side away. He surrounded himself with a coterie of kiss-asses and obsequious little tards, none of whom are capable of doing their jobs. He's gone on for the last near enough a year, destroying everything he's touched. He's had unflinching loyalty to the Greens, who have subsequently cast him off and said they will work with Labour, even though Labour aren't a nationalist group. And yet he still seems unable to throw them away because he has no cojones. He's not a leader. He's a man who's keeping the seat warm for the leader. And that leader will be busy today gathering her troops around her. We did a little flash video first thing. And I sort of jokingly said that when the Herald are sort of saying this sort of thing, there must be, something going on. Didn't realise it was so big and happening so quickly. Anyway, McNeil, who sits as an independent after getting the boot from the Nationalist group, had been left humiliated when just 4 MPs backed his St Andrew's Day early motion, calling on Mr Yousaf to resign as First Minister in an attempt to force an early Scottish election with Skexit at the forefront. He said hopefully the next SNP leader, a week can be a long time in politics, will allow his or her MPs, well, it's going to be her MPs, isn't it, to be aware and interested in all avenues to independence. Speaking to the Sunday Herald, Wishart was critical of how the party has managed the likes of the Michael Matheson iPad scandal and admitted that while he still supported Mr Yousaf, he thought a caretaker leader may have been a better way for what has been a damaging year for the SNP. Now, there's the other thing, of course. You've got Matheson, a man who lies, who steals, who then lies some more, keeps lying until hopefully one day somebody will believe the lies. A man who throws his family under the bus to keep his job. It now emerges that he is a bully. His own council want him gone. His own local SNP party want him gone. And now, of course, on top of all that, it's revealed that the state of the NHS is getting worse and worse because he's totally inept and cannot do his job. And yet, Humza sticks by him. And you have to wonder why. What was on that iPad? It wasn't, surely, sexual shenanigans between Humza Yousaf and a number of other MPs. The clue's in the words. Who knows? Something shady is going on. Anyway, Wishart says, I looked at the range of candidates and I didn't feel that there were any that gave me any confidence, he said. My decision was based on the best of the people available and I voted on Humza for the basis of that. He voted on Humza because he can't abide Kate Forbes and he knew that Ash Regan is a moron. He added, my idea was to find a caretaker role for somebody with the skills to see us through this period, make space for other people to emerge and then make a decision at that point. That unfortunately didn't happen, and so we're in the situation where we had to choose between the individuals available. Kate Forbes was only narrowly defeated by Yousaf in the battle for Mute House, and she is the preferred candidate for many. And of course she has got a team, and she's got some people there that are, shall we say, the acceptable face of the SNP. One only, of course, has to think of Fergus Ewing. Any team, when Kate Forbes becomes leader, any team she forms will have at some point and some role will be one for Fergus Ewing. It has to be. He has been very loyal to her. And as I say, he's one of the few in the SNP that regardless of what party you would vote for, you can respect him. Very few others, aren't they? Certainly not Wishart. But it does look as though there is going to be this big crisis meeting tomorrow amongst the Westminster group of MPs. And who knows what is going to come out of this. But whatever it is, it's going to be pretty bad news either way for him. There's a man ticking away the last few hours, perhaps, of his leadership. And he knows it. He knows he's had a year in which to make his mark. And boy, has he made his mark as the worst leader the SNP have ever had. And possibly the shortest. I shall stop. I shall come up, we shall round off the video and we shall wait until bated breath, until more of this story comes. And after that meeting tomorrow, something may emerge. So go grab the popcorn, folks. This could be a wild ride. And I do hope so. Coming up, we'll finish off. If, as we think, the MPs at Westminster do decide that Humza Yousaf has got to go, they do have the loyalist. Beryl will be loyal, of course, to Humza Yousaf, but only so far. And I think if the winds of change are blowing and these guys down at Westminster decide, no, that's the way it's got to be, I think even Beryl will change his mind and he will join them and he will remove support from Humza Yousaf. He's not going to stand by a man who is already on the way out, who is a failure, and who will be replaced. Beryl will come in, stick it, say, okay, we'll get rid of him, and then he'll kiss the arse of whoever comes in. But I don't think he likes Kate Forbes, but I think he accepts that it's probably going to have to be Kate, and he'll have to suck it. You know, it's either walk the walk or talk the talk. And is he going to, bend the knee and kiss the ring, or will he quit? Who knows? I can't see him quitting. He likes his role too much. But hopefully the people will vote him out. That is a possibility. People of Aberdeen, you know what to do. Anyway, we shall round off there. Thank you very much for watching. We'll keep this story very, very close on. We'll keep an eye on it. Anything that breaks on it, I will certainly bring to you straight away. But I expect a good follow-up tomorrow after their meeting. So we shall wait and see. But fingers crossed, because this could be big. Who knows? Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. It's great, isn't it? Bye.